Welcome to OneStepNow, my YouTube channel, where I tell you all about the things I'm doing to create my YouTube studio, but also to purchase various types of equipment that I use and give you my reviews on them. This light is not one of those pieces of equipment, it just is a light. But I have created this little studio. It's about halfway done, and what's remaining is to put a light right here, a light over here, one up the middle, and then the webcam arm right here. Then it'll be complete. But anyhow, in the background I'm getting a real wide angle webcam. It's the Logitech 930E, which is a decent webcam, certainly high enough resolution, and if you light it well it'll look really good. It's not as good as the Brio, Brio, that's also made by Logitech. That's a 60 frames per second webcam, certainly the next level up, but really if you're not wanting to spend the $250, let's say now, because webcams have really gone up in cost, then you can usually get one for about half that price. That's the 930, and the 930 is like the next generation up from the previous one, which was the mainstay of all streaming and podcasting, which was the C920, which is also a good webcam, but the C930 is just a step up. Anyway, there's lots of details about both of those webcams, but that's not really what this is about. What I wanted to tell you was that the webcam I'm going to place somewhere about there, I'll have it on a movable arm so I can change the angle. It has a very wide angle. It has a 90-degree angle, which really makes the shot look great. That's one of the reasons I like the 930E and would recommend it. I'll leave a link in the description if you want to go check it out. But it's going to look, I'm in a spare bedroom in my house, and the background is going to look probably more like from here out to about here. So it's kind of an interesting little, look to this corner. So I'm going to work with it. What I decided to do was, I had purchased this a while back, this picture, years ago, and this is one that I got at World Market. But you can buy these at things like this, big art, big wall art, commercial wall art, Target, World Market, other places. But I just so happen to have this, and it's like the bottom part of a statue of Buddha, just the hands and the bottom. So, but it's kind of a cool color. I always liked the look of it, and I think it's going to work well as a background. It's a little bit dark, but I like that. I'm kind of going for a little bit darker look, and I decided I wanted to backlight it. Well, that got me into a whole adventure of how do you do that. Alright, so let me walk you through this. These are very light. This is very, very light, which I like, and I wanted to keep it light, so I had ideas of placing all kinds of structure on this, but I realized a lot of my ideas were going to make it very heavy, and I don't want it to be very heavy. I want it to stay very light. Okay, so I did a light test on it to see if the light would shine through the fabric on this, and it shined right through, which revealed the cross support wood, the wood piece that went straight down the middle, made a shadow down the whole thing, so it looked horrible. So what I wanted to do was put LED lighting on the back of it, like an LED TV lighting kit, but where you put the LED lights and then it illuminates from around the edge of the picture, and that would be the background for all my streaming. Well, in order to do that, I decided I would buy these little pieces of wood, which are like 1/2 inch by 1 inch pieces of wood you could buy at any hardware store, Lowe's, Home Depot, etc. And I drilled pilot up. Okay, so I built some structure, just put some additional structure inside the frame to make it sturdy. I put one from this corner all the way over to that corner, drilled it in where it hit the existing frame. Did the same thing with this. This is under the cardboard, and I put one right down the middle. So I gave it strong support. I already had one support this way, now it has 3 this way. And I put in little brass wood screws, about this long, drilled a very small pilot hole for them to go down into. So just took some steps to be careful. Then I was able to get this big piece of cardboard, actually at Lowe's, they were throwing it away. And I just grabbed it and recycled it, which will block the light, 100% pretty much. So I simply glued this on with regular old Gorilla Glue all along the edges, and the piece I had wasn't long enough, so what I've done is taped it with the Gorilla Glue actually tape, which is like heavy duty duct tape. And there are a couple of places where it had been punctured, and I taped those up. And then once I had that drilled down, you could see it kind of like warped a little bit, but it doesn't matter. All I'm doing is just making it so the light doesn't go through and keeping it light with the cardboard. Then I put that same wood that I put beneath the cardboard here on top of it and drilled directly into that wood that I had established under here. So I just kind of countersunk the bit a bit to make the screws go right in. Used a few little cheap wood screws, and same way, and it cracked a little bit. Don't need to worry about that. The connection is solid. I decided to not go ahead and add these two. There's no real reason. So the idea is that it's just an inch away from the wall here and here, and I'm going to place the LEDs all along the back facing the wall here. And to do that, I got this. This was about let's say around 10 bucks, 12 bucks, something like that. And I'm going to install this. This is big enough for lighting all four sides of a 56-inch TV, which this is a 31 by 41-inch picture. And so I bought this strip. So it comes with, let's see here. Okay, it comes with the manual. That's wild. It doesn't look like it could be enough, but I guess it is to go around the whole outside of this strip. You can see there the LEDs. And this has, by the way, all different colors you can change it to, and you can control the brightness, and I think it has even like different modes. So it comes with a little remote controller. Now it looks like it's got a battery in it because you can pull this. That's cool. I like that it's remote controllable. Looks like you have a remote control thing here. That's interesting. Looks like a little infrared for the remote controller. Very interesting. And then this goes to USB. That's for the power. And then this plugs directly into this. Okay, easy. It's just pondering that for a moment. That should work out quite well. And that's it. So simple. So simple. Oh, looks like these are some little Scotch tape mounting pads. Nice. Alright, so I'm going to install that. And one other thing I bought was I picked up this, a nice long USB male to female cable. This one I'll plug this into this, and then plug a power wart into the end of this and go into the wall. And then I'll just have one cable that's hanging down here. It'll be backlit. Okay, and now I'm going to show you the finished product, but I think what I'm going to also do, just because this is cardboard and I always get a little freaky about the lights, is I think I'll go ahead and put down the Gorilla tape around the edge and then put some electric tape on top of it, just so I have a good, non-flammable surface, so to speak. And then I'll install the LED lights over top of that, and we should be all set up. But here's the other part. I'm going to go from the perspective of where the camera will be. The other part of what's going to be in the field of view. Now, right now, this is no good. This is a lot of Xbox games and DVDs. That's from a bygone era. I'm going to put those in Tupperware, and I'm going to go more with something like these kinds of things of interest, which is like the old 8mm camera I used to use when I was a kid, 40 years ago. I actually used this thing to make movies. A surf trophy, which is intentionally the smallest surf trophy I could find in our collection, with the actual name of the contest and everything removed. A brass pencil holder. So if I remove all these things, it will look much better. This was recently painted, so this is looking okay in terms of its condition. and I'll put in maybe a couple of LED things here that are very subtle, soft white light things, and that's, I think, going to help really pull this whole area together. We'll have the backlit thing here, nothing crazy. The backlit thing here, just from the sense of some LED effects. And then I'll probably leave that door open most of the time because it is so incredibly hot in here. And then I also have my vintage Kramer Stage Master that I'm going to start my music channel with, making copyright-free music for people. Anyway, if you like these kinds of videos, go ahead and subscribe. Please subscribe to OneStepNow. Going to start streaming soon and helping content creators get to the next level. I have 5 YouTube channels now, and still growing. So please hit that like button, subscribe, leave me a comment. Thanks for watching. One Step Now.